Each year, we recognize Fire Prevention Week and the critical need for home fire safety planning. UL Firefighter Safety Research Institute is a leader in fire safety research and is spreading the word about how simply closing doors can be a potentially life-saving move in the event of a home fire. Joining us today is Steve Kerber, who is the director of the UL Firefighter Safety Research Institute, with some important safety information for us. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, first of all, tell us about the Close Before You Doze campaign. What exactly is that?
Sure. So it's a public education campaign where we're trying to educate people on the importance of closing their doors before they go to bed at night. We've been researching how fire grows and spreads for more than a decade, and it keeps showing up that if you have that closed door between you and where the fire is, your chances of survival go up dramatically.
And tell us a little bit about that, how fast fires are spreading in homes today.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize this, but because of all the synthetic materials and plastics and furnishings and open floor plans that we have in our homes today, you used to have more than 17 minutes to get out of a house after the smoke alarm sounds. Today, that is down to 3 minutes or less. So it's extremely important that we act quickly.
3 minutes or less, wow. So how do we go out and make our homes safer in general? How do we do that?
Sure. We want people to have working smoke alarms on every level of their home. You want to have those smoke alarms inside and outside those sleeping areas. And you want to make sure those smoke alarms are less than 10 years old. They expire. So we want to make sure that people check those dates. And if it's older than 10 years, go ahead and get some new ones. Escape plans. Because you have such little time to get out, it's important that you know exactly what to do if you have a fire. Make sure your children know and that you practice 2 ways out of every room should your primary way out of the house get cut off. And then because most fire deaths occur while people are sleeping, we want people to close before you doze. Get those bedroom doors closed before you go to sleep at night. So should you have a fire, you'll have time to figure out what's going on and come up with a plan of action to get out.
And you mentioned the plan and the fire alarms as well. How often should we be checking those to make sure that they're up to date?
Yeah, you want to be changing those batteries, make sure they are working and you didn't take the battery out because of cooking or shower steam or something like that. And you want to test them monthly to make sure that they're working and that life-saving device that can cut your chances of dying in a fire in half if they're in place.
Wow. And for folks who aren't familiar with the UL Firefighter Safety Research Institute, tell us a little bit about your mission and what you guys do.
Sure. Our mission is safe living and working environments for people, and we do that by doing fire research. We want to make sure that the public is as educated as they can be as the evolution of the fire problem continues, and we want to work with every fire department across the country to make sure that they're the most up-to-date and educated to protect the communities that they serve.
And you mentioned it earlier, but what is the number one thing to remember for folks in the event they do have a fire in their home and that they get out safely?
Yeah, no, number one is absolutely get out safely. And if you get out safely, you want to close the door behind you because you can actually cut off that oxygen supply to the fire and it'll snuff out. You might actually put the fire out before the fire department arrives. But if you can't get out, it's vital that you get that closed door between you and the fire. Get to a window, call the fire department. That'll buy them the valuable time they need to put that fire out and get you out safely.
And even closing the front door, correct, when you leave the house?
Absolutely. Any door you can close to cut off the oxygen supply to the fire, it takes away that key component and it probably will put the fire out.
Thank you, Steve. So where can folks go for more information?
We want to send everyone to closeyourdoor.org. That's where all the vital fire safety tips are that you can share with your friends and family.
Closeyourdoor.org. Fabulous, Steve. Thank you so much for joining us.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.